We just have a little technical here to fix. I had it open and then the Wi-Fi cut on me on the other phone for the reading. There we go. Hopefully that does it. So people, good to be back here this morning. We do a lot of things in life. Sometimes we'd like to maybe do less, sometimes more. And the good question is why we do things. And we're coming up to Labor Day in the US soon. And so thoughts revolve around work as well. So in the first reading, it's really about people who don't want to work, who live off the others and who would be able to work. That's a nice reflection on I just think of how many meals my mom prepared. My dad wasn't one to do a lot of meals, although he was very proud that he prepared her the last supper she had eaten. He fried sausages for her before her departure from this life. And it was great satisfaction for him. He was an amazing 80-year-old man. And my mom at that point was very weak and failing to cancer, and my brother was out on the farm, and then my dad alerted him, and they, right after that supper they went to the hospital, and she went on to eternal life from that moment. And apparently it was teeming rain. All kinds of things happened on the way. With effective work, changing a wheel in the rain. Cooking supper. Sometimes the work turns out a little bit not as one expected. The story goes that the sausages fell off the plate when he was taking them from the range into the bedroom. But then he whipped them up and everything was fine. Mom enjoyed them. The work that goes in a family day, especially a family day on the farm, the work never finished. You were there in the middle of your work. People who go to an office job or a factory job come home and the work is away from them. Although nowadays with computers and laptops and everything, people bring the work back with them. We can go down here a little bit, but I think those campers are still there. Not so much water flowing, but it still is flowing. It's also amazing. Right now it's dry here at the Mississippi, but the water, there was still water. We had some guests yesterday or the day before, and there was quite a bit of water in the ritual bath still. So it's amazing after all this rainless weather since April. The last rain was probably in March. Maybe there was some little thing in April. May, June, July, August is almost over. Our next rains of a serious kind will be in November, December. So the amount of love and goodness that goes into work, the amount of our life that goes into work or preparing for work. Yes, we have all these campers over there, so I think we just leave them in peace, which is a big greeting today in this letter that Paul writes. As when people do their part, there's peace. If we don't do our part, carry our part of the burden of community, of family, of office work, company work, our role, our tasks, our assigned tasks, or tasks that aren't assigned that we see are necessary to do, and somebody wasn't able to do them, they became ill, or they had some personal difficulties of whatever kind, and to step in to do things for people. That's so beautiful. The spirit of diligence and work. For us Christians, it's also always been a meditation to consider that the Word became flesh, and for the first 30 years of his life, working as a carpenter's son, working as a carpenter from Nazareth. That image is very powerful. And even in creation, although for God, obviously it's a whole different dimension, but he establishes us, he gives us life, he makes everything possible. But then God transcended the work, which is also a very important lesson about work and the teaching of the Shabbat, of the Sabbath, of the day when we're not in drudgery, because the human being transcends work. We're above work. Work is a means, it's not a God. And poor workaholics also lack a balance in their lives and need help, and also this personal decision to give work its place, but also everything else needs its place. Work is for others. And then we have kind of the opposite idea of the activity in the gospel, where we have the Pharisees doing things and prescribing things to be seen. The use of the word hypocrite, it's the word that in Greek culture was for the person that played a role. They weren't really that person, but they played the role of that person. They played a role just to impress. That doesn't mean that the work of actors isn't for real. But when we act in life, we act one thing, and inside we're a different thing. That's problematic because it creates division inside our own self. It makes our activity a lie. And that also takes away peace. So peace is very related to work. And the enjoyment of the fruits of the work, and the sharing of the work in the community, fairness and justice. So many major issues around work, and how much time we spend training for work. Nowadays, people, by the time they finish their doctorate and go to teach at a university or be employed by a company, and with all that knowledge, enter into consultation structures, giving advice, doing analysis, further research. Then sometimes people are but that's also work, the work of learning to write, the little child learning to write the letters, the dedication that it takes. Sometimes people only count work as physical work. And we had very much that kind of attitude in a way. In the practice, the ones that were doing the real work are out on the farm. But there was real work in the kitchen as well. And there was real work writing essays for school homework. It's called homework. So the reading can prompt us to think about our activity and why we do it. And we're participating in the beautiful gift of life. And we process food It has come from the sun through the chlorophyll into the wheat grains, into the fruits. It's the source of our energy, and so we're working with all of that to make that bread, to make that guacamole from the avocados, like the volunteers did last night for the Fiesta Mexicana that all the residents of Magdala enjoy so much. A lot of work goes from the nourishment of that guacamole, from the energy coming from the sun through the avocado plant into the avocado, stored up there, harvested, transported. Avocados grow right here actually, but in many countries absolutely not. So, the mystery of life, many stimulating thoughts for us today. A thought that I always love about work is the people who do a little extra overtime or an extra effort to have some more wherewithal to help people in need. That's amazing generosity and putting talents to use to lift people out of trouble, out of problems. What a way to live. That must give great joy to the heart of God, because He created the whole world for us in our need, in our indigence, in our complete dependence. We absolutely need that, all that help. And by doing things to really help others, that extra, go the extra mile to help, that is also beautiful. Beautiful. That's part of our godlikeness. That generosity, that self-giving, all expressed in wonderful work well done. So if you wish, we'll sign off here, and you can take a seat here on this bench or in the chair and have your further reflection here at the Sea of Galilee. So God bless you. See you later, alligators. Have a blessed day. And may there be blessing on your work. To pray at our work, to pray at the beginning of our work, to pray in gratitude when it's over. All beautiful things. Oh, I'll sit down here for you. Wonderful. God bless you.